I have a very different type of diagram here to explain. And as I explained, try with the skize. And this diagram here, I'm supposed to use it to explain a question to do with external division of a line. External division of a line. And for external inamaanisha lines, ama a point dividing a line na iko nje. So when such a point is outside, we call it external division. So we have done such things, I think you can relate. So for this question here, the question will be, kuna vitu zenye nafanya explain hapa pole pole kidogo, then maybe in the next 40 minutes ndio tuweze kufanya question. So you'll try listen carefully as much as you can. So normally I said that you will always have a diagram, then in the diagram there is intersecting lines. I will not have time kuuliza diagram ni gani, intersecting lines ni gani, just because of the less time that we have, but I'll explain it myself. So for this question here, O, A, alafu B is supposed to be the diagram. Hii ni diagram hii. So the triangle is OAB. We are back to the triangles. Then inside this triangle, there is intersecting lines. Actually, the intersecting lines are AB and CD. I repeat, the intersecting lines are AB and CD. But now, anytime lines intersect, they have to intersect to a point. Kama kawaida, ukiangalia normal diagrams zenye tulikuwa nazo, we had a diagram like O, A, alafu B. But then we had a line from A to a point, another line from B to a point, then they intersect here. So these two lines, AB and CD, instead intersect externally. And that's why we refer to this as external division. Unaona, the line was AB. The other line is a CD. But these two lines intersect externally kwa sababu X iko nje. So X is that point, common point, just like in this diagram here, where the two intersecting lines actually meet. That said, the process will just be the same as in this, like in this diagram. Ukifanya question of vectors, they will tell you this is the figure, alafu they will mention these are the intersecting lines and they intersect to this point. So for example, hapa nimekuwa kama ingekuwa like C, D, alafu X, then I could have said that the triangle is OAB. That is the first thing I could have said. The triangle is OAB. Alafu, the intersecting point.
Teacher, sauti yako kuna echo inaingia.
Excuse me? Something happened. Something happened and my diagram was off. So, just very fast. Alafu unajua watu wanakuja saa hii ndio wamenisumbua. Watu wanaingia saa hii, so wamenisumbua in the process I messed up. So, nitachora tu haraka alafu nijaribu kuexplain tena afresh. I think we should have rules pia kwa hii group. Mtu mwenye anachelewa tu kabisa mimi sita admit. Kwa sasa waona penye tumerudi. Naona Marian anakuja sahi. Atakuja kuuliza sijui ratio imetoka wapi. So oh sorry, x, this x. Yeah, diagram ilikuwa hivyo. So I was explaining that this diagram is just from the normal diagram. Normal diagram tunajua, where we say that if you have a diagram, you have like 3 points hivyo. Then kuna line and another line that intersects. Let this be C, let this be D, alafu let this be X. So I said that ukitaka kufanya equation hii, this is external division. I've already said that the triangle is OAB, but the intersecting lines are AX and CX. The intersecting lines are AX and AC in this case, and what else? AC and BD. Like for this diagram, the intersecting lines are AB and CD, but they intersect externally, and they intersect to this point X. Unaona zinakutana at point X. So since X equal outside the diagram, we say X divides AB externally. You can also say that X divides CD externally. One good thing about this ukifanya question ni, they'll be so clear on that. Watakwambia, given that X ama line CD and AB intersect at X, na kama unajua ama kama una understand mambo ya external division just from that statement, then you should be able to know that in this case wanamaanisha the two lines actually intersect externally. So how do you work out this question now? Working out itakuwa always just like the normal case for this question. Question A, watakuuliza to find the vectors of the intersecting lines. But maybe just before I move to that, sijui kama kuna mtu mwenye, lakini kama ni mtu amekuja sahi sitajibu. Najua watu wenye wamekuja sahi. If there's someone who was there niki explain and doesn't understand how this X divides AB externally, ama why I'm saying AB and CD are the lines and they intersect to the point X, just like hapo unasema AC and BD are the lines and they intersect at X. Same thing. Kama kuna any issue, please say, because if you don't have, I now want to take you through the question.
Shamin.
Yes, Emma.
Hii line ni AB na CD ndio
the line, the main lines.
So mbona zina intersect kwa X na COD?
Ladies, unaona hii line AB extended and CD also extended. Ukisi extend like for real, zinakutana at X. And that's why we are saying, kwenye tulisoma proportional division of a line, we said there is internal and there is external. Nikiandika hivi, alafu niseme A, B is the line, alafu X is the point of intersection. Then it means that X divides AB internally because it is inside of those two statements zenye unaona hapo. Lakini nikiandika hapa B, niweke hapa X, alafu nikiseme X divides line AB, then since iko nje, we say X divides AB externally. So it's supposed to be AX ratio XB. It is outside. It is the same thing here. Ukiona line AB,
Okay.
hii ni X iko nje. So inamaanisha it has
So
divided.
so ina divide the two lines
Yeah, unaona hii
external.
extended and CD extended zinakutana. Na penye vitu zinakutana, hapo penye zinakutana, that's where you say they meet. So for this line AB and CD to meet, lazima extend. So uki-extend zinakutana at point X. And that's why we are saying X is that common point. So it means AB and CD intersect at X. Hivyo.
So
Sawa?
yes.
Aya, now, so just like this question, when I'm solving, first nitatafuta vectors of the intersecting lines. Na ukumbuke hapa, intersecting lines are AB and CD. Alafu niende to that statement yenye nasemanga, given that AX is part of AC. So since ni external, hiyo statement itasoma, given that AX is part of AB. Na pia CX is part of CD. You always write those statements to the point of intersection. So watch that. Lakini when you're doing a question, mi huambianga wanafunzi hivi, ukifanya question, never bother about question sasa mimi nitajuaje. Uzuri wa vectors ni, they will always give you everything. Watakuexplainia kila kitu. They'll want you to do the first important thing, the next one. So but ni vizuri kujua the process, because once you know the process, hata kama wanakupatia, at least you can tell what they want you to do. Even though, hata kama ujui, let's say you are doing the question, alafu wakwambie, wamakupatia information, I'll give the information, then wakuulize questions hapo, you'll still work. Now once you work them, everything comes in automatically, provided you know the process. So si lazima ujue ati this X divides AB externally, CD externally, not even a must. But if you know the process of writing the correct ratios and doing what you've been given, then you will just do the question. And we want to try that. So in this question, there is no ratios here, there is no ratios here. They will tell you, given that C divides OA in the ratio, say, 1 to 3, and D divides OB in the ratio, say, 2 to 1, and that vector OA is A, alafu OB is B. So I have vector OA, vector OB given. Then just like normal vectors questions, they'll ask you to find certain vectors. The vectors are intersecting lines. Lakini sasa mimi, I've already introduced you to what intersecting lines are. So expect wakuulize question like AB na CD for this part A, because according to what I've explained, AB, CD are the intersecting lines. So here we go. I'll start with the find vector AB. How do I get vector AB? If I want to get AB, I'll say AB equals to AO plus OB. So it's AO plus OB, which is equals to AO ni negative A, alafu OB ni positive B. Unaona? You're going against the vector. Alafu hapa ni along the vector, which gives you that answer B minus A. That is our first part for Roman 1. Then Roman 2. The other intersecting line, I said it's CD. Kumbuka, this X is the intersecting point, just like this one here. So it is line CD and AB that intersect externally at X. So the line is CD. Mwenye anauliza questions, atakuuliza find vector CD. Wewe unafanya tu venye umesema. So CD, how do you get CD? If I want to get CD, CD will be CO plus OD. Same process. From C to O is, kwanza unaenda to the negative, but it's the fraction is 1/4 of this A, but negative. So it will be negative 1/4 A, then plus O to D is a fraction again, but 2 of the whole thing, which is 3 of b, and it's along the vector. So it will be 2 over 3b, which will be 2 over 3b minus 1 over 4a. If you know vectors, kama tumesoma tulisema, it's good to start with a positive value. Lakini it doesn't mean that ni must. Yani meaning that if you don't do that, you will fail the question. No, you can still get. So before I proceed, I welcome questions again. Before I proceed, now welcome questions. And please, nilisema mkieka simu yenu mnaeka portrait form. Ukieka in a portrait form, unaweza ona the more of what I'm doing. Usieke straight kama una normal way simu inakuwa. Unaeka portrait. So I should proceed. I want to proceed then. Yes, Tahir.
Malim, nini? Oh, OD, you said 2 over 3. How do you say 2 over 3, Malim? And
Because
it's 2.
the ratios are clear here. There is 2, there is 1.
What
The
Malim
whole
is
line-
out of that
the
one,
whole
Malim? Yeah.
The whole line is 3. But from O
Oh.
to D is 2. So it got 2 over 3 of this vector B.
But
Okay?
Malim, ulikuwa unataka to OD peke yake. Why are you going to B, D to B?
I never went to B. I said OD is a part of OB. Which part? 2
Hmm.
over
Yeah,
the
now-
whole.
Yeah, the whole line. Yeah. The whole line.
Yeah. Mwana?
Okay. Yeah.
Aya, sawa. So I want to proceed. So once you get to this, we know very well that normally unaenda part B. Na part B ilikuwa namna gani? That's where they will say, kama ulitafuta AB, wanakupatia that fraction of AB. But this is external. So inamaanisha X is external. So they will tell you, given that X is part of AB. But they will say it as, given that AX equals to HAB. What it means is this AX is part of AB. Like it's external. That's why unaona unapita. But that's the statement. Next one, they'll say again, and the other line we got was CD. Easy lines ulipata huku. So they'll say C to the intersection point, which is CX is a part of CD. Now that part is K. Where H and K are constants, they'll ask you to write something in 2 ways. Sitaki kusema ni nini first, because I want us to concentrate first on the calculation. So if you followed my explanation vizuri, you'll notice, kama hata ningekuwa tuna hii diagram, nimepatiwa these ratios and the vectors, hata kama sijui inafanya nini, wakiniuliza find AB, I'll get. Find CD, I'll get. In this case, wakiniambia AX is part of AB and I already got AB, I can simplify this. So this will be H, alafu the value of AB, you got it was B minus A, which leaves you with HB minus HA. So I've simplified AX here. Again, I try to simplify this other value, which is CX. CX is KCD. But again, you got the value of CD, it's here. CD is the same as 2 over 3B minus 1 over 4A. Again, if you simplify this, you get 2 over 3 KB minus 1 over 4 KA. Evil. So once you simplify this, in vectors, they'll always to write you a certain vector in 2 ways. And that vector should be from somewhere, but the rule is it should be to the intersection point. My intersection point is here. So whichever point utaandika, we andika. Na kama watakwambia, write this in 2 ways, then you use that. So for this question of mine, mimi nataka niandike, wanaweza kuambia, if you're writing something, provided it's to this point. Normally, it's normally to this point, this point here. So watakwambia like maybe write OX in 2 ways. Or wanaweza sema write CX in 2 ways. Or wanaweza sema write AX in 2 ways. If they try to say write CX in 2 ways, ama AX in 2 ways, one of them should be direct. But if it's OX, you start afresh. Na mtu akisema write something in 2 ways, inamaanisha use 2 different lines to get to that point. Let's use OX. If I'm writing OX in 2 ways, the first OX itakuwa OA plus AX. So it's OA plus AX. That's the first. I'll work out this first, but I want to explain the second. The second itakuwa OC plus CX. You see? All that leads me to that point X. But let's do this first. So this first one, OAAX. OAAX itakuwa from O to A is vector A. Alafu from A to X ndio hii hapa, but you got it here, which is this. So it's HB minus HA. Which should be, if you work this unajua kawaida lazima ucollect like terms, the A's together, then followed by the other value. So I've simplified that. That is my first OX simplified. The next OX, kwa sababu nimemaliza ya kwanza, itakuwa OC CX. You use different routes to get to the value X from O. So the second one will be OC plus CX. Just like the other process, you go back to the diagram. OC is 1/4 of this A. So now from O to C, the ratio is just 1. Now the whole thing is 4. So OC is 1/4. Just a minute. OC is OC equals to 1/4 of A plus CX. This CX, ukirudingi tu nyuma, they mentioned that it was here and the value is this. So you just write it. It's 2/3 KB minus 1/4 KA. Just like in the other question, we have to simplify this. How do you simplify? You collect like terms, which will be 1/4 A minus 1/4 KA plus 2/3 KB. Again, you factorize. Lakini ukifactorize, ukuange tu unatoa vector peke yake nje. Usishughulike na hizi namba zingine. So the statement should read 1/4 minus 1/4 K. Hivyo. Then into brackets A. Notice nimetoa tu A peke yake because when you're comparing, you always compare the coefficients. Then plus 2/3 KB. So nimepata the 2 OX. The first OX is there. The next OX is here. Please, before I proceed, I welcome anyone with a problem. Any question, ask.
Hello, teacher.
Yes.
Ukifactorize si unaweka nje 1/4A.
Okay. Ndio nimesema in this case ukifactorize usifanye hivyo, weka tu only the vector nje. But unajua in mathematics the correct factorization, ukifactorize vizuri unaweka any common factor, but in vectors hii tutainidi kwa hivi pamoja. So don't say 1/4A. Just take the vector out. Sawa?
Okay. Okay.
Any other person?
Share hiyo OX ya juu.
Which one?
OX ya kwanza. Ndio lazima usimplify ama.
Lazima?
Simplify ama.
Yeah, lazima. Oh, sija simplify? Sorry. Niko na mchezo mingi.
Hiyo the answer ya OX ya kwanza.
Siku simplify, thank you. It's supposed to be 1 minus H Thanks for the correction. Sikuwa nimeona. 1 minus h alafu a alafu plus hb. Hivyo. Thanks for the correction. Hivyo.
Tisha sauti imeenda.
Haunisikii? Mimi nasikia vizuri
Nakusikia
sana.
mwalimu.
Imeenda.
Ilienda? Nilikuwa naandika nikitype
Inapotea.
Yeah, nimethank the correction, so I now want to proceed. Can I proceed?
Teacher.
Yeah.
Yes, someone asked.
Yeah, how is this different from the internal vector? Your
There is no
diagram.
difference. The only difference is in the internal vector, x was inside the diagram. But in this case, x is outside the diagram. So now the line is AB, x is out. In the other diagram, the line intersecting line was AB, x was in between. See that, if you can. Haikuji? Haingii kwa kichwa?
Ni diagram, lakini calculation is out.
Ndo nilisema so naona sasa unanijibu vizuri. Ndo nilisema uzuri ya vectors ni hii. Mimi najaribu ku explain ya diagrams because I just want you not to do things. Unajua ushaiona tu mtu akiimba wimbo ala ala ya baba usulema hata ajui anaimba ni ama ujui wimbo. But so it is good sometimes to know the reason why you're doing something. So in this case, kama naweza explain hii diagram na we understand well. Na kama uwezi, then inamaanisha you only have an option of enda tu kwa question utafanya. They will tell you everything to do. Follow the process, work out, you'll do the same thing. So sawa?
So,
Yeah.
Now I want to proceed. Anyway,
Yeah.
what I'm going to do next, tunajua vizuri sana. What we do next is simply solve to get the values of A and B. Now, when you want to solve, that's why you compare the coefficients. Now, you can compare the coefficients. You compare the coefficients of the two OX. The first one, A, it is 1 minus H. So I write 1 minus H equals to A in this case, a quarter minus a quarter K. So I write a quarter minus a quarter K. The second one, B vector hapa ni H. So I'll write H. And in the next case, itakuwa B vector is 2 over 3K. 2 over 3K. So if I'm solving, I think for me, it will be easier to use this H to substitute here. Kwa sababu hii ni H alone. So if I want to solve this, I'll take H, penye kuna H huku, niweke 2 over 3K. So I'll put it here. So I'll write 1 minus, the value of H is 2 over 3K. So I'll write 2 over 3K equals to 1 over 4 minus 1 over 4K. Hapa nitataka mtu wa calculator nisaidie kidogo. I'll collect like terms, letters on one side, numbers on one side. So this a quarter on this side. I'll have 1 minus a quarter equals to hii iende huku. So it will be 2 over 3K minus 1 over 4K. I need help in this calculation. I know this is a 3 over 4.
3 over 4.
Hii huku, hii. I want the answer for this.
5 over 12. 5 over 12.
5 over 12K. So if I want to get the value of K, I'll say 3 over 4 divided by 5 over 12. Again, please help me. 3 over 4 divided by 5 over 12. Three over 4 divided by 5 over 12.
5 over 9.
9 over 5.
5 over 9 or 9 over 5? Haya, one thing about external vectors. Ukipata answer kama hii, uko right. Inafaa ikuwe improper fraction. If lines divide externally. If they divide internally, it should be a proper fraction. So ukipata hivi, uko perfect. Hapa unaanza kusmile. You should know you are right. Alafu K. Oh, H. If I want to get H is 2 over 3 times 9 over 5, which is 2 over 3 times 9 over 5. 2/3 times 9/5.
6/5.
6/? Again, you are correct. Because if we look at the ratios are clear. It is improper fraction. So once you have improper fraction, yani inamaanisha from this point to that point is longer than from this point to this. That's why the first number is bigger than the second one. I have like 5 minutes to go in this topic lesson before we open the next one. Nataka question.
Isn't K 5/9?
No, it can't be. Use your calculator, Maria. I think I can see 3/4 divided by 12/5. Oh, yes, divide by 12/5. Use your calculator, vizuri. 3/4 divided by 5/12. What do you get?
Okay.
Eh? You saw it? Aya. Any other question? Hakuna. So we can try a question. Kama mnangoja kujaribu question, then do me a favor. Take a screenshot. You might need that screenshot. Hata kama ile explanations. If you follow my working, you can understand. Just take a screenshot of that, of what you have there. Finished?
Sure, mimi naweza uliza.
Yeah, uliza. We still have some minutes.
Yes, ni hii value ya h ulipata aje?
H. At this point, ukiangalia hapa tushapata k. K hauna shida. Ili when you're solving a simultaneous equation, huku h equals to this. Ona hiyo. Then what does it mean? Sinamaanisha hii ni k. Just put the value of k you got here. Then now you solve. Sawa? So k nilipata 9/5. So utasema 2/3 times 9/5. So once you solve one value to get the other value, you substitute in the place you used before. Okay?
Okay.
Mwingine? Please ask questions. You still have 3 minutes.
Teacher.
Yes, ongea polepole. Takurarua watu. Yes.
Teacher, when you've been told to find a value in 2 ways, are you being given or when unatafutia?
Mostly unapewa. Lakini pia kama hujapewa, just make sure that from any point, write 2 ways, but the 2 ways should be to the intersecting point. In fact, I'm challenging you. Nataka ukikuwa free uandike the same question CX in 2 ways. Aya, notice CX in 2 ways. The first one is direct, ndio hii. The second CX itakuwa CA plus AX. So hiyo utasolve hivi umalize. Ukishamaliza, compare the coefficients, you will end up getting the same answers. Or wanaweza kuambia ama uamue uandike AX provided it's to the intersection point. AX in 2 ways. Then you can amua AX, one of them is direct, ndio hii. Alafu the other AX itakuwa AC CX. Again, simplify, solve. Ukimaliza, you will end up getting the same answers. Kama hizi. Sawa?
Yeah, I got it.
Even though in most cases, they will tell you write this in 2 ways, especially in final exams, because in final exams wanataka kila kitu iko uniform. But when you're doing questions in a textbook, you may find out the same labda. But for those exams zenye zinakuwa marked at the same level, in most cases they give you things kwa sababu wanataka kila kitu ifanane hivyo. Haya, so we will stop. Time imeisha. Next lesson tunajaribu sasa question. See you huko kwingine.